You are watching a Two and a Blue interview sponsored by Energy Defenders. For any of your solar and roofing needs, call Energy Defenders. We are joined here today by laborer turned Eastern Regional organizer turned board member of 1,000 things turned Burlington County Commissioner Randy fucking Brolo.
South Jersey Business Development Manager.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's being a county commissioner. It like kind of like I won my election on Saturday, and it kind of hit me today when I went to the county building. I'm like, this is your office. This is where your car is gonna be parked. Your name's gonna be on the curb. I'm like, your name's gonna be painted on the window. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, you get like a name thing on your desk and all?
Not even that.
Desk?
No, like some of the when you go into the county commissioners where their offices are, like on the window, they paint the names.
Oh shit!
Like in gold letters.
That's legit, dude.
My face is gonna be like when you walk up to the county building. You know, like it's gonna be there. It's like, holy cow.
That's wild, dude.
Crazy.
What is a county commissioner?
So you have three levels of government in New Jersey. You have municipal, county, and then you have the state level. I'm gonna be actually at the county level. So county level, so you have the county roads, you have your services, SNAP benefits, county roads. Like you have county bridges, they take care of that.
It's all infrastructure involved.
Not just necessarily infrastructure, but it's like trying to explain everything they do. So if you need SNAP benefits, you need if you need food stamps or something like that, you need housing, you need any kind of social services. Also, they take care of like say you need like your septic or well inspected, they take care of that kind of stuff. The mosquito control, right? There's a lot of different services that you pay county taxes to. Some of the vocational schools are attached to it as well.
So do you have like a team under you, or are you working with a team like side by side?
So it's 5 of us on the board, and there's the director, Felicia Hobson. Shout out to Felicia Hobson. She's an incredible woman. Lives in Willingboro right now. Very supported me heavily in my campaign. So yeah, so she's there, and then Allison Eckel, another incredible woman. She's underneath her. So there's 5 of us, and we get 5 votes, right? So it's a team effort. So without the team, nothing gets done.
So okay, so everything is a team effort.
Oh, 100%.
Or you tasked like, okay, you're going to be mosquito and bridge.
So I'm just finding it out today. Okay. And I just went in for my orientation, and they're going to figure out the appointments. But yeah, I was on so many boards at the county level, and it was crazy because now they got to fill those boards in.
So how did you how did you decide you wanted to get involved with all of this? So
Wayne Richardson, who's the Essex County Commissioner, also a laborer. I remember taking a RISE class, and I was like, I seen him walk in. He kind of had you remember Allen Iverson telling that story, how he saw Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan had that glow when he walked on the courts. Wayne walked into the RISE class with that glow and that walk like a basketball player. And I was like, he talked. I was like, man, how do I do that? And so I asked him, I said, Wayne, how do I do what you do? He said, get on some boards and then work from there. So one of the first boards I got involved with was the Central Labor Council, which is the AFL-CIO. So you have the state-fed AFL, and then they have little conglomerates or little pockets. I belong to the Burlington County CLC, and I'm a trustee there. So I got involved with that, and that's how I got involved in politics. And I saw how politics moved the labor movement. So without politics now, like PLAs and stuff like that help our members get work, you can't do it without politics.
No, you can't.
No.
Yeah, doing this podcast and just networking the way I have to kind of to get the people and just to find guests to come in and interview. It's kind of opened the curtain of that.
Right.
That room for me. Mm-hmm. And it's, it's a whole new world, dude. It is like a whole other thing. You go out there and you work, and you don't think nothing of
Our
you don't think nothing of the job you're on. You don't think nothing of the competitors for the contractor. You don't think nothing of anything. And then you get to get a glimpse behind that like door, and it is like a machine.
Yeah, it is. I tell you, working in the field for 13 years, that's what I did. I was like, oh, I'll be a foreman, I'll be a shop steward, and I made those goals, and I did it, right? But 7 o'clock, 6. Well, let's start from the beginning. You know how it goes in the morning, right? You're up at 5:30. You know, pretty much 5:45. You're out the house to get to.
I'm a 425 guy myself.
Okay, all right, awesome. I was speeding a little bit on the highway. So, you get to the job. 6:45. You're out of the truck. You're putting your boots on because I never wore my boots in the car. I had to put them in the trunk. And then 7 o'clock you're starting to work, right? And then 9 o'clock, you take your break. 9:15, you go back to work. 12 o'clock comes, take that lunch. 2:30, 3 o'clock comes around, you clean it up and you go home. Maybe you might get some overtime that day, possibly. But with working for the regional office or working for the union, this is a totally different animal. Like, you're working Saturdays, you're working Sundays. Sometimes you're working all day, all night. You might see your kids in the morning, but you see them get off the bus. But guess what? You're leaving out right away, right? Sometimes. It depends. It's a lot of hours. And then you're constantly answering the phone. One time I went on vacation. I was like, I'm not answering the phone. Screw that. They're not paying me. And then a meeting was moved. The time was different. So I was late to the meeting. So I was like, never again. I'll answer the phone. I don't even care.
It must be nice just to be here and like have your phone off and just zone out. For a minute,
I got a phone. I do have one phone call to make after this. So.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
I have two phones, so I'm constantly on the phone.
When you have to schedule phone calls, like you're busy, and you have to I have to schedule a phone call with you, which means like, damn, dude, this dude's got some shit to do, bro.
So the thing I should have did in the beginning of my career, I should have kept one phone. But instead, I was like, they gave me a phone. I'll use their phone. I should have had one phone. Now I have two phones. I have 3 emails, right? So they're constantly going back.
Emails are brutal.
Oh my gosh,
Emails are brutal.
I'm trying to clear my email box. Like, I'm not reading this. And it just delete everything.
Everything you do, you need to enter your email address, and then it just signs you up for this like bullshit.
Yeah. So.
And it just funnels in like all this ads. And you're like, what the hell? Like, who even reads their emails anymore?
Still getting emails from Kamala Harris. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I enjoy the job. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be doing it. I can go back in the field. I could have stayed in the field, and I enjoyed that as well. So my motto is like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it to 100%. And I set goals for myself. I got a couple more coming.
I pity the fool who doubts you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you did it, dude. Now, did you meet much resistance?
With me running for commissioner, or
everything, like from labor, from being an apprentice to where you are now?
Yeah.
How much resistance did you like? How many times did you have to just bear down and just keep going?
So let's start when I was an apprentice, right? I always did what I was supposed to do. Showed up to every meeting. I remember coming to a meeting and they said, Tony said, I know it was Frank. He says, how many apprentices are here? And me and Joe Anderson stood up. It was 2 of us. It was like 6 people at the meeting, 7 people. It was like bad. I always went to my meetings, so I always stayed in contact.
That's surprising.
Yeah, it was. This was 2000.
Attendance is fantastic. Right
now it is. Yeah. We have and nothing wrong with Frank D'Antonio, but and I'm not talking bad about him, but with Tony and Billy and Chris and Alphonse and Dave and Charvel, with those guys
making his mark too, man. Yeah,
those guys are doing with Local 172 is just amazing, right? And shout out to them. They do an incredible job. So then I went on to be a journeyman. So I remember I was working for Waters and Bugby, and I remember I was like, I'm taking off to take because I always took classes because I had a mentor. He called himself my white dad. An old Irish guy that drank a case of beer every day. No bullshit, right? So he's like, take all the classes, kid. Get involved in politics, kid. take everything you can, right? Make sure you show up to meetings, all your meetings. Don't miss meetings. So a year after my apprenticeship, I became a foreman, believe it or not, maybe 7 or 8 months. But I remember wanted to take off to take the TCC class. And the superintendent was like, "Oh, Randy, why would you do that? They're laying people off. Why would you want to do that?" I'm like, "Yo, scared money don't make no money. Let's go. If you're not gonna hire me back, that's your fault, right?" So reaching adversity and dealing with people that say they're naysayers, it started in the beginning of my career. So, and then, moving into organizing, it was difficulty there. He's doing too much. Or I had a guy say, "Oh, you're doing too much. Why don't you focus on 2 things? Why you got 10 things going?" I was like, "Because the members are in the field right now paying my salary. That's why. They're paying my salary. If I'm just going to sit back and watch TV or watch YouTube or look on Instagram, I don't need to be here." So I was always that one that wanted to work hard. I'm an overachiever, 100%. So, yeah, when I was organizing in Delaware, I got 11, 12 contractors signed. I got a contract signed within 6 months of being an organizer. It was
were you always like this?
Overachiever?
Yeah, I mean, like in high school and stuff. Like what?
I was a
Go ahead.
knucklehead.
Yeah.
The laborers gave me...
Did you know you had it in you? I mean, did you feel like you were underachieving?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you felt like shit about yourself?
100%.
Yeah.
So I remember... I lived with my uncle and my aunt down in Dallas. And I remember when I went down there and I had focus and direction. I left from Bolingbroke schools. I was barely making it, right? Probably damn near dropping out. And I went down there and I had focus and, I was getting straight A's. I was going to go to school to be a physical therapist, right? And then I came back home like a dummy. And then, I never went back to my uncle and aunt's house, so I never went to college. Then I got a bunch of little stupid jobs, truck washing. I was working at, what else did I do? I worked at the kitchen at a hospital, washing dishes and delivering food and stuff like that, And then my sister says, "You should be a pharmacy tech." And so I was like, "Cool, I'll be a pharmacy tech." It's more money than washing dishes in the kitchen, so I did that, and I was really good. I was really good at that. I was making IVs and making TPNs like for people that couldn't eat, and food that goes through the IV. I was really good. I was better than some of the pharmacists.
Did you have to where was this at?
So I worked at Virtue Memorial. So I worked 3 jobs: Virtue Memorial, Virtue Voorhees, the Bora Heart and Lung, and Kennedy Stratford. Excuse me, I worked 4 jobs.
And the overachiever was born.
The overachiever was born.
Hell yeah.
I was like really working. But I would we would go in there like, "Oh, we got to make this IV," and I would tell the pharmacist, these are people that went to school for 6 years. I'd be like, "Yeah, you got to put the filter with that." And they're like, "Why?" I was like, "Because it's particulate matter." And they were like, "You sure?" I'm like, "Do you want me to show you in the packaging? I'll show you. I've done this." So yeah, I was definitely overachiever. I would get my work done. I would make all my IVs by 9 o'clock, and they would be mad. Like, "Why is Randy on the computer all day?" I'm like, "My work's done. What do you want me to do? Do your work now?" So yeah, definitely an overachiever.
Do you find that when you, like, the more hats you put on, the more efficient you become, and like just the better overall at everything you are?
I love the pressure.
I feel I work the same way. Like, I need to constantly have something to do, or I do nothing.
Yeah.
And when I do nothing, I feel like shit.
Yeah, and you're like, "Damn, I could have got this accomplished today.
Yeah.
I could have did this today."
Yeah, I mean, that's why I wake up at 4:30.
Yeah.
I just start. I just get going.
Yeah,
I need to wake up. I need to feel good before I want to feel. I don't want like walking out the door of like I like to.
What do you hit the gym?
I do. I hit the gym, hit the sauna.
That's what I need to do.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, one of the things I do regret, I don't like about working in the offices, I'm not in shape as I was. I mean, I was running the hammer. I run the hammer.
There's a lot going on. I mean, we were just talking about balance, right?
No excuse.
It's tough to balance everything. It is tough to balance everything now.
Yeah.
It's because going to the gym, like, I still don't consider myself like a avid gym goer. Like it's not like I have to go.
Right.
If I don't go, I don't go.
Right.
I'll go 2 weeks sometimes without going.
Yeah, but you get back into it.
But yeah, I try and just, if I fall off the wagon, I just hop back on.
Yeah.
I don't just let it go. You know? But yeah, it's tough to balance like that stuff with family and I mean, it's
because I feel guilty by not being around my kids.
Yeah.
I feel guilty. Like I'd rather veg out and sit on the couch with them and hang out with them all day. Like at least I'm spending time with them, and I got to make time for them. That's because before you know, your kids are grown, man.
Yeah.
My twins are in Florida right now for their senior trip.
What?
Yeah, they're in senior. So they was like, we forgot to ask you for some money. I was like, so they sent me a Cash App request. It was like $60. I was like, what the hell are you gonna do with $60?
Yeah.
I was like, here's $300 each. You know what I mean? Because I'm not around them. Like I mean, here's the thing. They're my children, right? I've been raising them since they were 5 years old. But I got a blended family. So I was married before. That didn't work out. So I have a 23-year-old, and then I have the two 18-year-olds. That's my wife's, and then we have the little ones. The little ones are 8 and 5.
Wow.
I know.
That's fun, dude.
It's a lot of fun. And then my son is 8 years old. He's special needs. So today, which was cool, I didn't know he's not really he's verbal, but he's not verbal. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have those social cues, but he can read. He was like reading today. I was like, so some people were like, oh, he's 8 years old. He should be reading. But when a kid's special needs and they're those little small things, it's a big deal. Like I'm recording. I'm like, man, this kid can read. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't think he was we're going to ever hear his voice.
Yeah.
So
that's encouraging.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's a good kid. He tries his best. He's a little stubborn like his old man, but that's what it is.
Yeah, my kids are fucking stubborn too.
Oh man, my son is stubborn. My baby, the 5-year-old, she's a piece of work as well. She's got a sassy mouth at 5 already.
Mine's 3. Just sassy.
Sassy for no reason. Yeah. Sassy. So yeah, I've always been an overachiever. So, coming from the hospital, working on those jobs, right? And shout out to Andrew Phillips. Hopefully he can watch this, right? Drew Phillips worked for Trap Rock for a lot of years. Now he works for South State, his brother. And I remember his brother, like, them working I remember seeing him driving from the hospital and they're working on the highway. I'm like, what are those guys doing? And then he was like, yo, you should come work for the laborers. So I applied down at the Folsom Hall. First of all, I got my CDL first. And then I applied down at the Folsom Hall. And I got into a Gen Con like in the summer of 06. So I never looked back, if it wasn't for John Phillips and Andrew Phillips.
Is it crazy when you're young like that and then like your boys are like, yeah, dude, we're making like $30 an hour.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, so they were making like $25 an hour. Because when I got into the laborers, I made $14 an hour with the pharmacy tech job. And then when I got into the laborers as an apprentice, I made $14.75. And I was like, oh man, I think I was bringing home like $500 a week or something like that, something small, right? And I was like, oh, I'll just put $400 to the side for my for the mortgage, and I keep the rest for myself. So, but as I went on, thanks to those good contracts that Tony and everybody negotiated, our raises went up.
Got another one coming soon.
$50 an hour.
Yeah, got another raise coming soon.
I know.
$1.40.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, man,
it's good.
That's insane.
It's good.
But it's we got the market share. We could do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, those guys do a great job over there.
Yeah. And the contractors are all happy too.
The contractors, because we have a great product. If you don't have a great product, forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget about it. They don't want to deal with you.
Yeah.
And the ones that don't want to sign, I'm not going to say their name because I'm not going to give them the shout out. They're cheating.
So, okay, that brings up the next thing I wanted to ask you was, sorry, why is it important? Because like you always hear people say like, you got to get involved. And like, no one really knows what that means. Like, they're just like, all right, I'll just go to meetings. I'll sit on my phone the whole time. I'm involved. Yeah, done. But like, why is it important for laborers or any trade, right, to get involved with their like municipality, state, county?
If you're not at the table, you're going to be on the table.
Yeah.
Because you'll be on the table. They don't care. Listen, I am going to pat myself on the back a little bit, and I don't have an ego or anything like that, so hopefully no one takes this the wrong way. But before I got into politics in Burlington County, no one knew what a laborer was. Now the whole state of New Jersey knows what the laborers are, right? Because I push that. If I get new friends on my Facebook, I go into the Eastern Region page and I send it a link to people to like the page. So every time, so it's branding. We gotta do better with branding. But getting involved, I mean, you could be on county committee, right? You know, we're nonpartisan. A lot of people don't know that. We're nonpartisan. We don't pick a side. We pick the side that's going to help us out. So I got friends on both sides of the aisle. I got a shout out from a assemblyman down south, and he called me up and says, Randy, congratulations, Republican, right? You know, and he's a great guy. Shout out Anton McClellan. Good guy.
Yeah. One of the leaders of our region said, you know, everyone thinks we're in the Democrat Party. We're not in the Democrat Party. We're not in the Republican Party. We're in the fucking Labor's Party.
100%. Yeah. We're not red or blue. We're orange. Yeah. You know. Do I have some Democratic values? Yes. Do I have some conservative values? Somewhat, right?
Yeah.
I am a registered Democrat, and I will acknowledge that. But yeah, it's about getting our members work. That's what it's all about.
So what does it do though? Like how in a practical sense does it help the locals?
So you have that voice, right? If we need a project labor agreement, you know, it's easy. If it's above $5 million in the state of New Jersey, you can put a PLA on it.
It doesn't matter if it's like a town or county or
doesn't matter.
A town can do that.
Yeah, a town can do that. Yeah.
If it's over $5 million.
If it's over $5 million.
So what's going on from the federal government level that is, kind of messing with that PLA thing in New Jersey? Anything?
You talking about the federal?
So I know that the federal government did something to mess with the current PLA system.
Listen, let's make no qualms about it. Trump is not for the organized labor movement, and he's not for the American people. I'm going to say that. People might not like it, but I'm going to tell you he's not. So the first thing he did, first of all, he was endorsed by the ABC, Associated Building Contractors. That's the non-union entity that the non-union contractors have to kind of keep wages down, keep safety down. Their apprenticeship, no one graduates. It's just a horrible organization, right? And we fight them all over the country. New York fights them, we fight them. Wisconsin fights them. They're the ones that want to pass right to work throughout the state of New Jersey, through the country, and they're just terrible. So the first thing he did was the ABC said, "Hey, get rid of this PLA language for federal projects. So anything that's on the base, anything that's
and that affects New Jersey too."
No, because we have some state funds with it, so it's going to you could put a PLA on that. So
they were also trying to pass where if federal federal grants, like, or federal money going to states, the state can't use that federal money on a PLA project.
Right?
Is that something that is in like, has that come to fruition or
not yet? Not yet. I haven't seen anything like that. So. And the grants, our training center gets grants. You know, our organization is a nonprofit. Believe it or not, the Labor is a nonprofit organization, and we get grants. And for him to try to cut out the grants, it hurts us. He's attacking us, right? Like I said, I see both sides sometimes, but this is not right. This is not good. But
yeah, I mean, if you have union goggles on,
yeah.
It's which, as a Eastern Regional organizer, you have to. It is your job to.
Yeah, well,
it's really hard not to see it that way.
So I was an organizer for 8 years, and I don't want to correct you, but I'm business development.
Oh, word.
South Jersey business development manager.
We're not worthy, bro. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, still an organizer, just a fancy title.
Yeah.
You know, my boss, came up with that title, and I appreciate it, and I want to respect it, right?
So why is it that these non-union contractors in the state of New Jersey, where like the state is behind the organized labor,
right.
So why is it that any contractor can end up with like any level of success? More like, not to mention the success that some of these guys are having.
They just been running rampant so long, and it's not illegal to be non-union.
No.
So it's a free market, right?
How does it negatively impact the laborers union?
It takes away our market share. So if you look at, the building laborers, right, and you look at the highway laborers, one is doing well, the one not doing so well. Because of market share, the highway guys, they got 97, 98% of market share. I might be off of those numbers a little bit. But the building,
like 172, 472.
yeah. But the building guys are really suffering because most of their work is not prevailing wage; it's private work. So you have Joe Blow that starts off, as a contractor and he works his way up, and you don't know anything about him. Next, he's building Taco Bells and Royal Farms and Wawas, and next, he's into our schools doing demo. He's doing prevailing wage, and then he's doing big scale, private projects. It's mainly up North Jersey because South Jersey, we don't have a lot of high rises, but you like Concrete Rising. I shouldn't even shout them out because they're a bunch of jerk offs, right?
How does it benefit a contractor to not to be non-union? Like, what is the benefit of being non-union?
They cheat.
They cheat what?
They cheat the wages.
Okay.
They cheat the 100%. They cheat the wages.
So there's more flexibility with
because they don't
with just strictly wages.
Yeah, it's wages alone. They cheat because the price of concrete's the same. The price of lumber's the same.
Right.
They cheat on labor. They cheat on not paying them, especially on a private job. Private jobs, they pay them less. But on a prevailing wage job, like I've seen as an organizer, not with this fancy title, contractors have put in their, certified payroll that put 4 hours, knowing well that that the workers worked 8 hours. So they paid them half for the day. Like, how is everybody, the foreman working 8 hours and everybody else working 2 and 6 hours? Mm-hmm. How is that even possible, right? So I've seen it. I've seen a contractor pay on a certified payroll. Guy paid him 25 hours on a Sunday. How does that happen?
25 hours?
On one day. Yeah, they just cheat.
It's a hell of a day, dude.
They cheat, but here's the thing.
It's cheating the day system.
Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, so, but here's the thing. The workers, man, they just want to feed their family, man.
Yeah.
They just want to feed their family. And the non-union contractors, like, we're family. I'll treat you right. If you go to a union, they're probably going to, put you on the list. You'll never work. At least I can't be working all the time. But if you work half the time in the union versus full-time non-union, you're going to make more money in the union.
Yeah. It's almost like a mental disorder, like for the contractors that are skimming as much meat off the bone as they possibly can. I'm reading a book right now about Carnegie and Henry Frick.
Oh my gosh!
It's called Meet You in Hell.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
No.
But it's about the Battle of Homestead.
Yeah, I hate to digress, but I remember working up North Jersey on 495 with IEW, and we cut a piece of steel was dangling off a bridge, and we cut it out, and it said Carnegie Steel.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted to keep it, but the state kept it. I was like, man, that's a nice piece.
Dude, he was a monster.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, he was a monster, but those guys fought tooth and nail against organized, and they were making money hand over fucking fist.
They had more money than the government.
Yeah.
I mean,
they would just shut it down. So there was a steelworkers union that got into the Carnegie plants,
right,
and all the many businesses that Carnegie and Frick had,
right,
and they were Chicago based or Detroit based or something like that,
right.
And after World War II, the unions all kind of consolidated to one strong. I think it was the AAISW or something like that,
right.
And so they were trying to keep these guys at a higher wage, and every time it came, every time their agreement would come out, they would just shut down the plant. They would go 4 months without working, some of these guys.
Trying to starve them out.
Yeah, because they had multiple businesses, so one shut down. I mean, they're just making a couple million less, but they're still making money.
We all know the working man. Listen, we're check to check, man.
But back then, in 1890s and early 1900s,
right?
They agreed to a fluctuating pay scale based on the price of steel at the time. They were fine, that's fine, if that's what you want to do, but they capped the bottom number and they didn't cap the top number, and that was the agreement was this is as little as you could make,
right? But
your wages could soar through the roof.
Okay.
I mean, they messed with 8-hour days, 12-hour days. That's how we got the 8-hour day.
Right.
is because a Carnegie employee recommended instead of 2 12-hour shifts, 3 8-hour shifts because
Right.
the guys were more useful for 8 hours than they were for
100%.
12. So that's how we got the 8-hour day. And then that was something that the workers all fought for like ever after that. They were like, yeah, this is way fucking better than
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But it's crazy because they were so focused on their labor cost. I mean, so laser focused on the labor cost. No matter how much money they were making, no matter what technology they brought in that made their operation more sufficient. I mean, they were bringing in technology that no one in the world had. No one had. I mean, they were inventing stuff, had patents for stuff. They were so efficient with this steel fabrication.
Right.
They were getting twice the amount of steel with half the amount of labor, and they were still trying to get less. They were still trying to pay less. I mean, that's insane.
Listen, capitalism is good, but you have to keep it in check.
Yeah.
Because without capitalism, you'll be a third world country. Look, I mean, you look at some of the countries in Africa right now that's just building and building because they know infrastructure brings in money, it brings in jobs and stuff like job creation. But what are they paying the workers, right? What are they paying the workers in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, to build houses and build infrastructure? Probably nothing, right? And it's capitalism, but it's not providing jobs. It's just providing, means of capitalism to make more money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even Puerto Rico, look, we have issues down there. It's a mess. They want more billionaires and millionaires there to give them tax breaks. But you got to give the working people, a livable wage.
Well, isn't I mean, the Puerto Rico is a part of the eastern region.
100%.
So how's the locals down there?
Good.
Doing well?
So I want to say doing well, doing better, right? Hector is doing an awesome job down there. Hector called me today congratulating me. He's doing an awesome job down there, getting PLAs and stuff, moving things forward. It's not so at the regional level. It's not a real quick game. It's a long game. It's it's more strategic. You have to think things through. You just can't just react and do stuff. So, but yeah, they're doing better. They're doing better.
So, is there a plan? Is there a plan in place in New Jersey, for example, to increase the, that market share? What if, we were talking about this the other day. What if every town, every county had a tradesman on the board?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Unstoppable.
It would be unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Why is it that we're not focused more on getting people in those seats?
So here's the thing. Members, you give up a lot of personal time. And sometimes the members just want to go to work and come home.
Yeah, but there are members that would do it.
I mean,
for sure. I mean, think about your journey, right? It wasn't did you at any point feel like, man, what am I doing here? You never did you ever feel like you didn't have full support? Did you ever feel like that? Maybe insecurity of
no, I got support. Listen, I got to say from Bill and Al and Chris, I've always gotten support from those guys.
Yeah.
They're great guys. They always support me no matter what. They sit,
Well, maybe after you made that first step, but beforehand, I mean, for me personally,
right.
for me, for a guy like Flounder or anyone who was an able-bodied person that could do something like that.
Yeah.
It's a little I guess it's not. Maybe it's not talked about enough. It's not discussed enough.
I think that's the problem.
That you feel like you're doing something weird when you start to get involved with stuff, and you feel like I'm doing this on my own. You don't feel like you have the whole weight of the union behind you.
So the Rise classes are the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh, I took 1, 2, and 3.
We gotta get you in the Masters.
I've been lobbying for this the whole time I've been on the podcast.
Say what?
Been lobbying to get myself.
Okay, we'll make a phone call tomorrow. We gotta get there's a Masters class coming up. You have to get on the Masters.
I'm in. Sign me up.
The Masters class changed my life.
What's pro? Pro's the pro. You still sleep over at the pro?
No, that's just pro is
I went to New Brunswick, or I went somewhere and slept over.
Okay, so that's the master. So you're a master.
What's the one after that?
Champion.
That's 4. That's the 4th.
Yeah, so you have Rise 1, 2.
Champion.
Right. So I don't know. They might have the one at the end of the year.
Well, that master's class, dude, there is a noodle bar right down the street from that class, dude.
Yeah,
I still remember those
Yeah,
noodles.
so you know what's crazy? When I took my master class, I was working for Mount. I was a TCC back when they had TCC foreman. Do you remember when Mount was like giving everybody a truck?
Yeah.
They were TCCs.
Of course.
I was taking a truck home. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, I need off on Friday. I got to take this class at the union. And they're like, okay, cool. You know what they do? Schedule me for a Thursday night. So after I got done working, I drove because they were working in Trenton. So I drove the traffic
Oh,
truck.
that's not bad. You're right there.
But I drove from Kearney's Point. So I drove from Kearney's Point, had my luggage with me, drove it to Trenton. I actually had Dave Scardino.
Yeah, I know Dave. He's from Hamilton.
I know.
Yeah.
I love Dave. So Dave Scardino, like he was watching the concrete pour or something, he was sleeping in the truck. But, you know, it's late at night. Like, what else is he going to do? So he dropped me off at the train station. And I went, caught the train and went down to up to New Brunswick. And basically I stayed up all day through the RISE class. And I was like, I'm dead. And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, everybody's going out. They were like, oh, we're going out. I was like, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I worked last night,
Yeah.
but I'm dedicated to this. This is what I mean. Like, I'm an overachiever. I know. Crazy. But the next day I was fresh.
Yeah.
I was
Sometimes
ready
a
to go.
couple beers would make you feel like a little better.
Oh, dude, no, I was asleep, man.
You want a beer?
No.
3 Threes beer? Our sponsor?
No, I'll take one home.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not much of a drinker. I got a beer belly without that. I don't drink beer.
So you should definitely drink beer to justify the belly.
I need to get in the gym like you. So, you know, I've been training jiu-jitsu for my gosh, I should be a black belt now. It's so terrible. I've been training jiu-jitsu for 9 years now. But
That's a great art.
Yeah, but I haven't really been dedicated to it like I should be. That's the balance, right? If I was dedicated to that, I would have been like a lot of people that I train with. They're black belts.
You can't be that dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Not with all you got going on.
Yeah,
That's like,
yeah, it was hard.
Yeah.
Flounder felt some of it.
Oh yeah. Oh, you go over there, same place as Flounder?
Well, Flounder came into my gym, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait." I said, "Listen, sign the NDA, please." So,
I'll roll around with you.
let's go.
I'll roll around with
Yeah,
you.
Flounder was a little heavier though.
Yeah.
He had to be at least 300 pounds.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is a big boy. All I do is let him tire himself out.
Man, just catch an ankle, dude.
No. He got a quick arm bar.
Oh yeah.
He was tapping.
That's cool.
Then he took some privates and was like, "Oh, watch this. I think I'm gonna teach you something, Randy." I was like, "Dude, I've been doing this a long time."
What belt are you?
Blue belt, 1 stripe.
Oh, that's nice.
So I did get past.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I didn't quit. I haven't been back into it, but that's like going to be one of my goals is really to get back really heavy into that.
It's a good mind clearer.
And I competed.
You need something like to just like
Dude.
just like this, where you can just put your phone down, forget about it, just talk, just do something else and think about something else.
Yeah.
Not that we're thinking about other things, but
No, and you're right. And that's what the first school I ever went to. He said that. He said this is like outside of work. This is outside of family. This will give you that outlet. You know, I appreciate him. He remains nameless. He had a little bit of issues, but you know, he's still a good guy. Still a good guy.
So yeah, we were talking about what it would look like if we had more tradesmen in these seats, and like why is it that why do you think that they don't push that more? Like that they don't push or like approach people or talk about it more, like, because to me it seems like a very logical solution to a lot of problems.
Yeah. So you know, at the meeting last night, they discussed it, right? If people are interested in you know running for office, and they have been pushing it for years. The AFL, they talk about it at the meetings. The AFL-CIO.
Yeah, but no one listens to anything in the meetings.
It's blah blah wah 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 wah.
It's just, yeah,
this
everyone's
job's
just
coming
like,
up,
yeah.
1.6 million.
This one's talking, that one's talking.
Yeah.
What's up,
The numbers here, but they have. So I also 10 years ago I took the labor candidate school, AFL. You know, I was like, I'm gonna take this class. It was like on a weekend. It was in New Brunswick.
You have to get invited to that.
Yeah.
Like, how come they don't open that up and just let everyone?
So Flounder's going to go.
That's good.
He's going to go. I don't know what happened with you. We got to work on that. We got to get your petitions and everything signed and everything.
Yeah.
So, but we got to get you to that class. And I could call Charlie Mechanic and at the AFL and get you in that class.
That's cool. That's cool. But it seems like if a state like New Jersey did that, right?
Oh,
Don't you
man.
think a state like New York would kind of follow suit? Pennsylvania. like your Union states, you know, your
Chicago.
Yeah, your Chicago,
California.
your Nevada, you know. And then then you start getting a lot of power.
Yeah.
You know?
But the problem is, some of the states, they're right to work, so they don't have any power, man. It's bad. Like you go to Kentucky, they're building the Blue Oval.
Does right to work prevent a PLA from being put in place?
No, but what it does is prevent, like, say we're members, we don't have to pay dues. No checkoffs, no nothing.
Yeah, but if you get these guys in places in these states,
yeah,
I mean, you're controlling
right.
the outcomes,
right?
You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, it might be like that right now, but even if you have a right to work state, it doesn't necessarily have to impact you so negatively. You can still increase your market share,
and you can reverse it, right? You can maybe get, here's what Bill said. He said, man, Randy's a young guy. He's got a whole career ahead of him in politics. He started off as school board. Now he's doing this. Who knows where he's going to go afterwards? So Marty Walsh was a rank and file card carrying member in Boston. He was the mayor of Boston. Went on to be the labor secretary, and now he works for the NHL, so hockey league. But you never know. You never know. I don't know how far. I'm not president. Don't think about me like that, because I don't think I want
President of the United States, Randy Burlolo.
Yeah. Well, someone says, someone says governor. I'm like, governor, here, right? And then my boss says, yeah, I'll be retired by then. I don't have to worry about that.
We got a chance to hear the Democratic nominees,
and we had a good time.
That was, dude, they could speak.
I know.
Can you talk like that?
No.
They're fucking good.
But here's the thing: the same speeches they gave
that boy Spiller, dude. He can talk.
Yeah. So the same speeches they gave Sunday, they gave Saturday.
That's weak. They gotta get new material.
That's the same. I'm like,
this is me doing the same podcast twice. Come on.
That's what they did. Because I was at the convention in Burlington County.
So they had practice, so it wasn't the first time they made the speech.
Yeah, and Spiller can talk. He's an educator. He's a teacher. Yeah. Ross is really good, and Steve Sweeney gets up there and does his thing because he's he gets the
Mikey Shirley said Taylor Ham.
Yeah,
that was stupid.
I don't know why she
say that.
She thought I think she thought she was making a joke.
It's fucking pork roll.
I know.
It is pork roll.
It says it right on the package.
It's definitely pork roll. It's undisputable. And the other one said they're subs, not hoagies. They're fucking hoagies.
We call them hoagies.
They're hoagies.
But you know what? Atlantic City.
They're sub? Oh, because of the sub shop.
Yep.
What's that? White House.
White House. That's why they call us.
That's why.
Yeah, they're strange out there.
Atlantic City doesn't count.
No.
Their verbiage doesn't count.
No. They're hoagies.
They're hoagies.
Wah hoagies. Hello.
Everything hoagies.
Everything hoagies.
Italian hoagies. American hoagies.
No one says an Italian sub.
No, that's ridiculous.
That's a New York saying, isn't it?
That's like I don't know.
It's weird.
What is a sub?
What is a sub?
A submarine. How did that even come to be?
I think that's it, like submarine sandwich.
Yeah, but why? Because it looks like a submarine? Yeah. Is it just aesthetic?
I never thought about it, but that makes sense.
Can we look it up? Can we Google this?
Yeah, but I think hoagie sounds a lot better.
Hoagie's way better.
Yeah, sub.
Everyone fucked that up.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. But she did well. Yeah. She did good as well. Yeah. But they give the same speeches, right? But I had to give a speech last night. I'm good at this.
Yeah.
But coming up with stuff to say and sound articulate.
Oh, you need a writer, dude.
Yo,
you should hit me up, bro.
You know what?
I'm a writer.
The bullet points is good for me.
That's good. You speak from the heart.
And people like that.
Yeah.
So I did before I got elected. I had to do several Zoom calls with different towns, and I did Morristown, and I started to read my speech, and I was like, "This is corny. I'm not doing this." So I was like, "I'm not doing this." So I started speaking off the cuff, and I got so many calls like, "Man, you did way better than." Speaking from the heart than reading off the paper, right? It just sounded way better, and people were related to me. All right.
You're right, by the way.
Because it looks like a sub?
Yeah.
Because it looks like a submarine.
Yes.
So where did the hoagie come from?
Yeah, where did the hoagie come from? Great question.
Oh, man, we got a good producer here.
Yeah, he's the best.
Look at that. He's excited. Look how he's grinning over there. Yeah, he's loving this. He's loving it.
The most popular theory is the Hog Island theory. Hog Island sandwiches during World War I, and it became a hoagie instead.
Wow, that's a stretch.
Jeez, that long?
Hoggy. It's really a hoggy.
It's a hoagie.
I need an Italian hoagie.
Yeah. What a great town Hamilton is, right?
That's the best.
Oh yeah.
I want to talk about some hoagies, dude.
Yeah. Hamilton's a great town. You know, you guys got a lot of history here. Everybody is a business owner, right? Everybody wants to have a business or something on the side. I noticed that. They're so driven.
Laborers in general kind of all have a side gig. Everyone's got to have a side gig.
They're so driven. Everybody here in Hamilton is so driven, right? Don't you guys have a lot of millionaires per square? What's that saying?
There was at one time we had the most millionaires per capita in the country, and most Italians, and most blueberries in the world.
I can see the blueberries.
Yeah.
But the Italians, no, not anymore?
No, I don't think we're the most Italian populated town. We were, though, at one point. We were, like, that was our claim to fame, was the most Italian populated town in America. It's not anymore.
Well, that sucks. But you have Sons of Italy.
Yeah.
What a great group.
Yeah.
Danny Sacco's my guy.
Danny Sacco is a great dude, man.
Yo.
Yeah.
So Danny didn't even know me. I was like, so before I did this, I was like, I'm going to do my own business. I'm going to start my own company. Danny was good at concrete. I was like, Danny, can you look at these plans and help me come up, bid the job? He's like, all right, come back to my house. Didn't even know me. It's like, come to my house. Came over his house. You ever been to his pool, like his pool shed?
No.
Yeah, went to his pool shed. He had like stamped wood plank concrete inside there. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
He's like, you want a beer? I was like, sure. That's before I had the beer belly,
Yeah.
But he invited me to his house. Shout out to Danny Sacco. What a great guy, right? So Sons of Italy is a great organization.
Yeah,
right?
they are. Me and Lewis were just talking before you got here. We were both recipients of their scholarship out of high school from college. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like $1,000. It goes.
So you went to college?
I did.
Where'd you go?
Rowan.
Okay. What'd you go for?
Law and justice. Criminal law and justice.
So you're going to be...
I wanted to go to law school. I got accepted to law school.
Man.
I was a night away, one sleep away from leaving to go to law school in Naples, Florida. And I backed out and went back to work with APS doing microsurfacing.
Asphalt paving systems.
Yep. Yeah, I got my last check. I said my goodbyes. I was home, and I was like...
It's funny. I was talking to... So one of the people I ran against for county commissioner, she's an attorney, and she was saying... I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, you guys make $250 an hour. She's like, listen, if I wanted to make... She said, no, I charge $350 an hour. I'm like, dang, $350 an hour? They're complaining about us making...
My boy gets like $600.
But I'm saying they complain about us out there sweating and working hard for $90 an hour, and you guys just go into a book and regurgitate some information.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of responsibility.
I know.
Depending on what kind of attorney you are, and you do need to like really know your shit and stay on top of your shit all the time. But yeah, it's a very, very dangerous job.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, like if you took like just someone off the street, like, and you were working on the turnpike, and you're like, yo, can you cut this? And you're 1 foot away from the cone line, bro. That's scary, dude.
So my first time on the Parkway, they do the slow down and everything. I didn't know. I thought the whole road was shut down. And so I went on the other side of the cones, and it was
a big no-no on the
Parkway. But it was a female 472 lady, and I don't remember her name. Sorry, I don't remember her name, but great woman. She grabbed me by my jacket. I was like, "Get your butt over here! What are you doing? You're gonna get killed." I was still an apprentice. I didn't know any better, right? And then I see the cars zipping by. I was like, oh, this is the real deal.
Yeah, they fly, dude.
This is the real deal.
Talking like 90 miles an hour, dude.
Yeah. I mean, we had a couple members get hurt last year. One of them got seriously injured. Some couple of them died.
Well, you're working. I mean, there's a ton of machinery with a ton of blind spots, right? Like every excavator, every backhoe, every roller, there are blind spots. Even at dump trucks. I mean, I work with like 60 dump trucks on one job sometimes. You know what I mean? Where they just roll them out. It's just as far as your eye can see.
Amazing.
And they're backing up. They don't have like 360 cameras and stuff like that. I mean, so it is a really, not just traffic, but also internal traffic.
Yeah.
And like long term, it's not good for you. Like the laborers, like the average lifespan after retirement is like 7 years or something.
8-9 years, yeah.
That is sad.
Some people don't even make it to that.
It's really sad.
A friend of mine, great mentor, I had and what, I'm going to digress a little bit. You know what's great about our laborers? Is no color barrier. We're all brothers, right, and sisters. So I had a great friend, and I'm thinking of him because I see his face right now. But he showed me how to do concrete. He's the one that got me into doing side work, right? Learning how to finish and form up and everything. But we were on a side job, and he was like limping around. I was like, Brett, what's going on with you? He's like, I just something's wrong with my foot. So he went to the doctor, and he was like, I got to cut a piece of my toe off. I had a blood clot. Well, and then it went to like his foot.
Is it diabetes?
No, he had a blood clot.
From what?
I don't know. He was a smoker.
Blood clot in your toe?
Blood clot in his leg, and it just traveled down to his toe. Then it got so bad that it went up. He had to get half his leg cut off.
Damn.
So his career was done.
Damn.
Yeah, so he had to retire. Brett's a great guy, though.
That sucks.
Yeah, I know. But he showed me everything. Him, Taj Barksdale. These are guys that, like, they're a little older than me, and they, like, took me underneath their wing. This is what you can do, Randy, I still stay in contact with them at all times, so. Yeah. Do you have any mentors coming through 172? Any guys that took you underneath their wing and said, hey, this is what you should do?
Let me think about this for a second. I'm trying to think back.
I put you on the spot.
I'm trying to think back. I feel like I really got thrown into the fire.
Right.
Whatever. Like I started construction, non-union with APS, doing microsurfacing just out in Bumblefuck, Pennsylvania, wherever.
Or way up in New York or New York State or something like that.
Yeah, way up, way all over the place. And that was like a good introduction. Like we had to put out all of our own traffic, and we're talking like 30-something signs before and after the shift, 14, 15, 16 hours. And it was like really, very easy work though, for the most part. Like as far as skill goes, like you didn't need much skill, you didn't need much experience. You just had to be willing to do it. And then I got in with Kylie before they signed.
Get out of here.
That's how I got my CDL. But as soon as I got into Kylie, I also started the process of getting my hours together to be a journeyman in 172.
Right.
So I got all kind of certifications through them, CDL, all that fun stuff. As soon as I was able to get into the laborers, I quit Kylie.
Right.
Went into the laborers. And then I was working with a contractor that at the time was like a very kind of like a cowboy contractor, like it was like a scabby kind of work. I was used to it because I was working
for APS,
non-union this whole time,
just doing whatever.
And like I didn't think nothing of it, and then I got to work with like Mount or South State, and I was like, oh,
good old Rob Bukowski.
Yeah, Chris Cole was my foreman at South State for a little bit. Yeah, Rob Bukowski was my foreman at Mount.
Yeah, Rob was good, good to the men. He was good. Buy you pizza on Fridays.
Yeah,
he was good like that.
Dude, I worked with Rob for a while. It was me, Jim Coya, Rob, and Bobby Olive. We're on a crew. Man. Bobby Olive's my cousin.
Right, you did tell me
that.
Yeah.
And
what a great man.
Yeah, we had so much fun, dude. We were on them state maintenance jobs, and they were like ponds. So we would have there was an operator there just doing everything.
Right.
And we would just be doing nothing.
Yeah.
Our job was to track the supervisor on the GPS system that was that Rob somehow hacked into the iPad. So we were
set out the traffic or do something like that.
Yeah, we set out they were like shoulders though.
Yeah,
we were parked off the side of the road.
3 signs and a couple cones.
That was awesome,
and a crash truck.
I thought that's how. I was like, man, this is like the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's not like that though.
No. So I did concrete maintenance.
Okay.
So I was
tough, but that's easy too, though. Maintenance.
Concrete maintenance is easy. Timber crew is easy. But concrete maintenance, you're you put out the traffic, you jackhammer for a couple hours.
You pour.
Wait for it to set up, pick up the traffic, and go. So I work for AP though. You ever work for AP?
No. What were they trying to pump them out?
Just AP just was rough, man.
Most contractors on them maintenance projects, they are just go as slow as you can.
Yeah,
It's time and material.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, you know, like that was always the word. You know, just like stop. You're moving too fast. Stop.
Yeah. And the inspectors push that too. So they just like they don't want you to run out of work, and then they got it. I don't know what the kind of contract goes, but yes.
And if you got a good foreman on them jobs, they'll find something under a bridge.
Yeah.
And like every rain day, we're going under the bridge.
And you're working.
Yeah, and it's like an office job.
Yeah, you're chipping or something like that.
Wearing a mask, wearing the whole suit, the whole getup.
That's the only thing I didn't like is, you know, I didn't like cutting my beard. I didn't like shaving.
Oh.
I hate shaving, you know.
Yeah.
But I still did it. But yeah, concrete maintenance was awesome. You know, I learned a lot. I remember working for AP and the foreman, Will Smith, him getting out there, and he was like, yo, I'll get the traffic. Go home. I'll pick it all up. And I'll just do some cowboy shit and jump over the barrier, grab the signs.
Oh, yeah.
You know how you go back down and get the tape?
Yeah.
You know,
so you don't got to loop around twice.
Yeah, so you have to loop around twice. So I would like jump over and throw the Windmaster over.
I thought I invented that.
No. Dude, I was doing it on 676.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. We did it on 55. I was on a job for a long time, and but that grass barrier.
Yes.
Is
Holy
forever.
shoot!
I mean, we would put the crash truck and the safety truck would like pull up 50 yards away from the sign all the way on the other side.
Right. You're like running.
Of the barrier. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I enjoyed it, and then I worked for Mid-Atlantic. I did utility work when I first started off.
I love utility work.
Yeah, I worked for Waters. I worked for Kramer. You know, as an apprentice, they love that cut rate. They love that 60% apprentice. And I had a CDL too. They're like, oh,
yeah,
we're getting most out of our money right now. So I worked for Kramer, Hinkles and McCoy, right? Lucas Electric when he was in business. I worked for him. I did work for him for a summer. You know, I wasn't like a company guy. I bounced around a little bit. You know, as soon as the job was done, you know, I'll be going. It depends. Then I was on 295 and I worked for Haynes and Kibble House for a little bit. Waters laid me off. And he's like, oh, please come back. I'm like, listen, how would you feel if I was working for you and a contractor called me because they liked me and I just left you? That's not right. I'm not doing that. So I made him sit a little bit. Then I worked for Conti up North Jersey. You know, I worked a lot of different things. Bridge work probably was my favorite.
Yeah.
The maintenance or rehabbing a bridge because there's always something to do. You don't have any rain days.
Yeah.
You know, you work for a utility contractor, a little bit of rain, you're not going on the road.
Yeah.
You're not digging, you're not putting pipe in the ground.
Yeah.
I
do like services are probably my favorite. That's my favorite. Like as far as the work goes, I like running services.
Okay.
Because it's quick.
Water or gas? It doesn't matter.
I prefer gas, I think.
Oh, you a gas guy?
I like gas. I haven't done gas since I was with Kylie though, which has been 10, 11 years.
Yeah, but it's still the same. It's poly.
Yeah, but it's just quick. Like you could get them done. You could mold it. It's 18 inches. You don't have to go, like you're not digging forever looking for shit, you know?
Dig the little test pits to see where the other utilities are or something sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked behind the drill.
God bless you.
Yeah, thank you. I work behind the drill, so in front of the drill. So you got to dig up all the utilities and stuff like that. So I got a crazy story when I was working at Evesham. And we had this foreman, his name's not coming to me, but he was crazy. He'd leave a job and get on his motorcycle and wheelie down the road. He was just like, but he was a smart guy. So we hit a high pressure gas main and it's whistling. But before we hit that, they hit a lateral. None of this stuff was marked out, right? It wasn't our fault. But I remember the gas traveling in the trench, going back through the trench, going to the lateral, going inside the lady's house. And the water from the toilet shot up in the air. And my foreman, Eddie, Fast Eddie is what we called him, Fast Eddie. So I remember him banging on the door. Because you don't want to ring the doorbell. You ring the doorbell when you get gas in the house.
You could spark it.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it'll blow up.
Yeah.
So he grabbed it, said, get out of the house. Then he went right over to the clean out and opened it up. So that goes to say, like, yeah, attorneys are smart, right? But for him to think that fast,
Well, you got to be cool under pressure for sure.
you got to be cool under pressure.
Yeah.
So we deserved our $90 an hour, $100 an hour. As a
I
labor.
agree.
Yeah, 100%.
And I feel bad saying it because it feels like good money, but like everything is so expensive, and it's about to get way more expensive. These tariffs are gonna fuck us up, dude.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You know what someone told me the other day? Says the tariffs might be a good thing for us because we could put more PLAs and stuff because the price of materials gonna go up.
That's true.
You
Very
know,
true.
I didn't even think of that. He told me that. I was like, you know what? You're pretty smart.
Yeah.
He actually was an attorney.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's very true. But just like as far as your day-to-day life, it's going to be.
Yeah. It's going to definitely screw us. Like I said,
I don't know what it'll do for America. Like I'm hesitant to talk too much shit about it because I don't know what the plan is, and I don't know what it could lead to. Like, look, if we get out of like 40 something trillion dollars in debt, you know, like I don't see that being a bad thing because of the tariffs. If we bring more jobs into America, I don't see that being a bad thing.
Right.
If these guys are building factories in America from, you know, Canadian companies, Mexican companies, Chinese companies coming to America, building it, hiring Americans to do it, I don't think that's a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing either.
But it's just going to be like a long road to that.
And that's how
it's going to be hard.
That's how the federal government moves, though. Everything from them is very long term, right?
Yeah.
It might not affect us now. I mean, look at NAFTA, how it affected. Look how long it took to really affect us, right? Might affect us. It might be good. It might be bad. I don't know. If anything's going to help the country out, I'm all for it. But I know him cutting services for Social Security, SNAP benefits, housing, that's not good because you're going to have a lot of poor people on the streets. You know, my county where I'm from is 800 homeless people on the streets right now. You know, and then people were so against having an emergency shelter. Can you imagine, a veteran coming back from a tour and having a bad spell, not be able to get a job? Now he's homeless.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is there's like the majority of examples are people like that, right? But when you look at like an example of like just some drug addict who doesn't want to seek shelter because he doesn't want to be in at 9 p.m. at night because he's not doing drugs yet. And you use him as the example of why you're doing all these things, then it's then like people get behind that and they're like, oh yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, so more people.
But that's not the case for everyone.
No,
it's like 10%.
Yeah, and he probably even remember less than that. But that's so Felicia Hobson. You know, I'm gonna shout her name out too. You know, when she had this dream of having this emergency shelter, people were like, oh no, not in my backyard. Put it down the road over here. But all the services right there in West Hampton, right? Yeah. I was on the board of social services. So I'm going to tell you a story. A young lady came in. She was from New York. She got pregnant, you know, had a baby. She had a great job. She lost her job, you know, because childcare is so expensive. And she couldn't afford it. And, you know, it's just a downward spiraling thing, right? So she gets on, you know, she gets some benefits, and then they put her in, like most people that are get on these benefits and don't like in transitional housing, they put them in hotels or not hotels, excuse me, motels, and you know how dirty those are. They didn't have any running water, like the water was messed up, and she couldn't flush the toilet. She said she actually had to scoop the feces out of the toilet in order to flush. And she's like, I'm from New York. I could deal with roaches and rats, and that's what they, you know, or mice. They had that in the hotel. But these are like people. Some people, it's like we could be one paycheck away.
What are they're doing away with Section 8?
Possibly. I know we got.
I'm of the mindset that we need like a Section 9 for the middle class.
Yeah, that's true
you
too.
You can't buy a fucking house. I was just talking about this a couple weeks ago with Dave Birnbaum, a realtor. Yeah. The average price of a house in South Jersey is like $370,000 for like nothing. Like not nothing, but like
crazy.
You're not getting a 2-car garage and shit. You're getting like just a house with a roof over your head. So like, what the fuck could be done?
Oh, man, it's.
Like, how can New Jersey assure its tax-paying, working, single, young people that they can move out of their parents' house?
Rent control. Do you remember Sean Spiller talking about the rent control he did in my...
Rent control's tough, though, because if me or you bought a house,
right,
put 20% down, we would have to charge the amount of rent that they're charging just to pay the bill, just to pay the mortgage.
But you know how many companies or conglomerates own multiple houses?
Yeah, these people that have a rental property from like 1995 are making a killing right now.
Yeah. So I think rent control could make things a little bit more affordable for people.
What about like a low interest rate? Like because like a $370,000 house isn't that bad with a 2.5% interest rate.
So I don't know why. That's one of the things.
Can't New Jersey mortgage the houses for these young people that are like that are approved for this hypothetical program I'm talking about?
Yeah, and I don't know why they. So I'm not.
They would still make money.
I don't know why they raised the interest rate. They said it was going to slow down inflation, but I don't know how that. I don't get that part, right?
It's the banks. It's just the banks that are deciding like we need more money because it would take me probably too long to think about it right now.
Yeah.
But like, why can't New Jersey fund it? Like, can't New Jersey
that's
act like a mortgage company?
Well, that's kind of what
for first-time homeowners.
That's Phil Murphy kind of did that. New Jersey has its own bank. We borrow from our own bank. Phil Murphy did that.
Cool.
So a lot of people don't know that. Like people bash certain political parties because they don't know exact. People everyone has an opinion, right? So, but I'm sure it can be done. I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Just to get these guys in house, just to get them a house.
Get them a house.
You need a house.
And then you also should tighten up some of the laws because there's a lot of slumlords out there. Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, that's why Trenton looks the way it looks because of slumlords. Mm-hmm. You know, people that don't want to spend money on their property, they can care less, right? They don't clean up after them, you know, and they charge high rate.
Because the state incentivizes the like refurbishing of these houses too. Like they get paid from the state.
Yeah, Camden's doing that too.
Philly does it.
Yeah.
They get paid from the state to put it back into the house.
So you know what Philly did? It was like they did a tax abatement for 10 years. That's why they have a boom right now.
Yeah, it's sick. My boy's doing it in Philly right now. He's crushing it.
Yeah,
crushing
they have a 10-year
tax. But his
tax.
houses are pristine.
Yeah.
And they're Section 8 houses.
Yeah. And I think they're making the houses look better, right?
Yeah.
They have to. It's part of the whole program. So I'm sure there can be something done.
Yeah. Because like what happens to you when you're 38 and you can't buy your first house till you're 38? When you got to work till you're 70?
So I was lucky. When I turned 19, my grandmother owned a house that my sister, it was paid for. This is a little personal, but I don't care, right? Mm-hmm. It was paid for. My sister takes out a mortgage, right? And then my sister's like, I don't want this house no more. She didn't want to pay the bills. So I took the house. It was, believe it or not, it was like $40,000.
That's sick.
$30,000 or something like that. Mortgage was like $200, $300 a month or something like that. But then again, I was only making $9 an hour.
Yeah, you're making $500 a week.
Right. So, you know what I mean? So, you know, I was able to afford that. And then I sold that house because, you know, the town was demolishing. It was like a kind of a low rundown area. It was old military housing. And it was like, it was crime infested. Like it was bad. And then I had my daughter and she was like 2. She was ready to go outside and start playing. I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, mm-hmm. right? So I bought my first townhouse in Lumberton, you know, $150,000. I bought it for. But
did you rent the other one out, or did you sell it?
I sold it to the town and they demolished it.
Wow.
They knocked it down. It's beautiful houses now out there now, but it took so long for that to happen. So you know, I bought the house low, and then you know, a couple of years later, that's when we had the boom. I mean, a market crash. We had that big problem. That was 2008.
Yeah, 2008.
Yeah, we had that big crash and everything. So my house still had a lot of value, and I sold that house 6 years ago, and I bought a foreclosure. You know, I've been fixing it up ever since. Mm-hmm. So, but that's me being an overachiever again, seeing vision. Right now,
you were in there, but like someone in your position right now, a 19-year-old, like unless you are getting
screwed.
A house from your grandma,
they're screwed.
Yeah,
but you know, also, my 23-year-old, you know, has a bunch of money saved. And I keep telling her to, you know, and she has her own place. She has a condo, 2-bedroom. But she doesn't own it. She rents. And I was like, Maya, you're paying someone else's bills. Let's go buy you a house. Even if it's in Camden, mm-hmm. even if it's in Trenton, buy something for $40,000. We'll go over there. We'll fix it up. And then you stay there for a few years and then sell it. Move up mm-hmm. every year. I know some people that move every couple of years so they don't have to pay the capital gains tax.
Yeah, well, you could rent it out for 2 years before you have to pay capital gains tax.
Yeah. So
I did that with I had a condo and I rented it out for 2 years and then I sold it before the capital gains tax kicked in. Because you got to think, like, if you get hit with that capital gains tax, how much is that 30%?
Yeah, it's a lot.
So you would have to sell the house for way more money down the road just to balance.
So
out.
Is that part of the problem as well? So I'm all about keeping taxes low and. I don't know what the issue. I wish I was an economist or something like that.
So like part of what the administration is doing right now, not to like speak one way or the other on it.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But like these tariffs and stuff like that, like supposedly the taxes are going to go, the federal taxes are going to be like plummeting. Is like what I've read is like the hope is that we could like almost like the internal or the what's the bureau that does the taxes?
IRS.
The IRS turns into the ERS instead of
Yeah, I heard him say something like that.
Yeah.
I should be more educated on what's going on with that.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is like,
I mean, you need some tax money, but like, 30% is wild, dude.
Yeah,
You can't even look at your paycheck without getting. I don't even look at my paycheck because I don't want to say it.
Yeah. But the biggest thing is like 30%. I don't know why so much to run the federal government. I know what
single. I mean, if you could claim dependence, but you're gonna out at the end of the year. It's a crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wish I read up more on it though. I wish I did.
Well, you have to now.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta be on that shit, bro.
Yeah. So, yeah, but the firing of all these federal employees, like, dude, come on, man. Like, some of the mail handlers, like, they're
I
lying.
don't know enough about it.
Yeah, they're lying to members. They're getting fired and getting threatened and everything.
Mail handlers.
Yeah, we have lying to members that are mail handlers down in D.C.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to say that like just the USPS is basically like a.
He's been trying to kill. He tried to kill that the last time.
When's the last time you read a piece of mail though?
I know my mail's so piled up because it's just junk mail.
I throw it right in the trash unless I have a check coming. I don't even look.
I got some checks that
Same
I never.
with email.
I know, but I got checks that I haven't even like little small checks I haven't even put in the bank. I mean, like, is they still good? Like,
yeah,
because I just forgot to put them in the bank. I do everything on my phone. I pay my bills.
But it is kind of true. Like no one looks at like mail is junk.
Yeah, I don't know about.
It's not like you're waiting for like your child to pen you from fucking France. You know what I mean?
Right. I would like to see him like what's the out, right? When these people lose their job, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, but it's going from USPS and it's going to go to the private stuff. It's going to go to like UPS and FedEx. But UPS is Teamsters, which is good.
Yeah,
more work for the Teamsters.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Anytime you privatize government services, it's not good. Because privatizing it's profit driven, right?
I don't get it. I don't get how people even know where you live to send you these letters. Like maybe it'll prevent all this junk from coming in.
Yeah, you listen. I remember when we walked for Kamala Harris in the presidency. I remember just dropping lit everywhere, and it was like 20 pieces of mail from Trump, 20 pieces of mail from her. I'm like, man, like it'd just be piled up in the mail, like not in the mailbox, but like it'd be in the mail. Some of it be in the mailbox because it was mailed, but by the door, it'd just be so much paper. They spent so much money on running for an office that pays $200,000 a year. Like it's crazy.
It is crazy. It's crazy that they're all fucking rich.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know how rich Kamala is, and I know Bernie is not that rich, and I mean Obama's rich now.
Do you think that the Democrats should have done do you think they should have been more prepared?
Yes.
They should have been way more prepared, right?
Biden, in my opinion, should have stepped down earlier. That would have been good. But Kamala, she tried her best.
But did they have to let him did they have to let him even start the process, or could they just been like, dude, like no?
Yeah, it was.
You can't handle this, dude.
Listen, at 80 some years old. Even Trump, like you lose some steps. Like my neighbor who was, when I moved there, he was moved to my house. I remember him just turning 79, then he turned 80. But over those next 6 years, I see him deteriorate. He was cutting the grass, then he was like not cutting the grass, and then he lost. He passed away shortly last year. But you get older, man. You get in your 80s, man. It's a little rough. It's a little rough to be sharp. Like, listen, I forget things.
Yeah.
I forget names all the time, or my short term is pretty bad, But you're doing a lot. But as you get older, it gets a little worse.
Good thing he is 80, Trump. Imagine he was 50, bro.
You right about that? That's funny. That's hilarious. So I don't know what his next, but listen, he's moving though.
He is, dude.
He is not messing around.
He's a wild man.
Yeah, he's like, you're fired. You're fired.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the dust to settle before I get
It's
like
crazy.
upset.
Yeah. So because it hasn't hit us yet. Remember I said the federal government takes a little while for it to hit us.
Yeah.
All politics are local.
I feel safe in New Jersey, kind of. It depends on this governor election.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, we're gonna be
like
good.
if New Jersey stays blue,
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it too much.
Yeah, it's not purple.
But it doesn't mean
red.
it doesn't affect like the whole rest of the country.
Yeah, it's gonna be. This governor's race is gonna be interesting too.
Do you think so? Who's it? Van Drew going?
For governor?
For Republican?
No, it's Jack Citarelli. It's Spadia.
Not Van Drew?
No, not Van Drew. Van Drew is a congressman down south.
Who am I thinking of? Who's the guy who was talking about the UFOs landing on like Russian submarines?
Oh my gosh.
Van Drew.
Yeah.
He's not running for governor though.
Oh.
No, he's not running for governor. He's a congressman. The dentist. You know, he was a dentist before he became a congressman, right?
No.
He has like a tooth as his like lapel pin. He's
You
got
gotta get a shovel.
Yeah.
You gotta get a jackhammer, dude.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so you got those on the Republican side. You have Spady, and you have there's an attorney as well, and then
I think Sweeney's gonna run away with it. Personally.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You never know. I didn't think I was gonna win on Saturday.
Yeah, but Sweeney, I feel like is like
He's a South Jersey guy.
he's just got like he's even a North Jersey guy. Like I feel like he's just well liked.
Yeah.
Like he's not, you don't really, he's a common sense guy.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You just need like a common sense. You don't need like
Right.
You don't want like a far any direction person. Just like a.
Yeah. Did you like his speech?
Yeah, he's great.
I think
just
all
talking to him, that was awesome, man. I got to shake his hand. Talk
Yeah,
to him.
yeah.
He's just a dude.
Yeah.
He's a dude.
Yeah, he's good. I wish I could have introduced you to Mikey and everybody else.
She ran out the door quick, dude. I was waiting for her. So she walked out, and she walked right past me. Mm-hmm. And I was going to go up and be like, hey, what's up? I know, you have the Langone endorsement, which I was surprised she didn't mention that. But I guess there wasn't a lot of Langone people there anyway. But
no, she saw me. I sat at the table with them because they grabbed me. I was like, "Oh, Randy, come on over here."
Yeah,
and I didn't see you. I was like, "Oh man, hope he didn't leave."
No, dude, I saw that there were in a lot of seats, and I was like, "I'm not walking up to a table and like there not be any seats, and I gotta walk away." So I'm just gonna stand in the back.
Yeah, you should have grabbed Mikey and said, "Hey, I'm a Langone member."
I pushed out.
Really?
I wanted to invite her on the podcast.
We got to make that happen.
I'd like to get Sweeney here. Honestly, too. I don't know if he would. He's like way too cool for me. I think.
Nah,
I think Mikey might be a little too cool.
They're all cool.
She dipped so fast, dude.
You know what the thing? Her schedule's probably really tight. She probably has somewhere else to go.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Can you imagine running up and down the state like that?
She was gone, bro.
Yeah, she had somewhere else
She
to
didn't
be.
look back. She was like,
Yeah, she had somewhere else to be. And Ross left as well. Sean left. Only the person that stayed was Sweeney.
Yeah, smart guy.
Yeah, he ended up staying. So, but yeah, this governor's race is going to be interesting.
It's important. It's important for us.
It's
What
important.
can we do? What do we got to do? How do we do it? Where do we start?
I don't know.
Let's get some governors on here, dude. Let's get some Democrats on
Yeah.
here.
Get everybody on here, right? Because everybody has a voice and we're a democratic process, right? Get somebody on here. We definitely have to reach out to their people. Steve, I could text him and I'll reach out.
I'd love to. I think Steve's probably the most obtainable just because he's in South Jersey.
Oh yeah,
and we have like a lot of lines to him.
Yeah.
Like Mikey Shirley's probably that'd be a tough one. I doubt she would come here.
You never know.
Not the way she ran out of that fucking thing, dude.
I'm telling you,
she ain't come back to South Jersey.
her schedule is just their schedule's it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I saw her on the train. There's a chamber train that goes from Newark to DC, and a bunch of lobbyists and people on the train, and people that were running for governor on the train. And I saw her. I was like, "Hey, what are you doing today at 6 o'clock?" And she's like, "Oh," I was like, I said to her, I said, "Are you busy at 6 o'clock? I got a party, and I want to know if you can attend." And she's like, "I don't know." I was like, I'm from the laborers. You don't know about the party? It was her party that we were throwing for her. So I saw her at the party. She laughed, and that's my little intuit. Like, people don't remember me. I crack a joke or say something, special to them. So
she's a strong woman. I mean, she was in the Navy.
Listen,
4 kids.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Having 4 kids.
Yeah, she's a strong woman. Yeah.
And she has a great perspective, right?
Yeah.
Great perspective. I'm balanced, man. I like everybody. I like all of them.
Yeah.
Republican. I'm not picking a side at all, but they all bring something to the table. What's best for New Jersey? Let the people decide, right?
Yeah.
Let them vote on it. And you will have that at the primary, and then we'll support whoever. But deals are going to be made.
Now, all right. So Mikey Sherrill has the LaUna's endorsement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that mean that LaUna doesn't have like a foot in the door with any other candidate, or are they like all in on?
So it's above my pay grade.
Okay. Well, how about like the Republicans? Like, are we cool with them too?
I know Jack. I don't know Spadia.
Like they wouldn't fuck. Like if they came in and
I think Jack wouldn't do anything to us. I don't think so.
I mean, it's just too big of a. I feel like it's too strong of a organization that
Right.
like for a governor to come in and just like blow it up. That would be like a bad look.
Yeah.
You would leave a lot of bad tastes in people's mouths.
But
So like all this stuff you're doing, and like all these people you're surrounding yourself with, and this like political side of the spectrum, like. Do you find that you've like lost any piece of yourself in the process?
no.
Dude, just talking to you, like I knew I was going to ask you this question, and just talking to you, like I kind of could answer that also.
No. Listen.
Totally down to earth, man. Yeah.
To the point where it's like when I went to the county building today, like I'm like talking to the sheriffs. I'm talking to I don't want be demeaning or anything like to the janitors, right? I don't know what their official title is. I'm talking to everybody, and the guy that's walking around was like, "Dude, you're talking to everybody." I'm like, "Yeah, man. Like, you gotta stay grounded." You know, remember when Andy Kim cleaned up after January 6th? You remember Obama like talking to the janitors walking around the White House? Like, you got to be grounded. If you're not grounded, and you don't have. That's one thing I say about being a jiu-jitsu practitioner. I'm grounded, man. You come in that gym. 110-pound guy's gonna whoop your ass.
Oh yeah.
Whoop your ass.
Little ninjas, dude. Just
Oh my gosh,
jumping up, all kind of weird shit.
Shout out
Flying
to
triangle chokes and
shout out the battle, man. This kid's like, I mean, you can squash him, try to squash him. This guy's like tough.
Strength doesn't do much for jiu-jitsu. It really does. It'll get you out of some shit, but you're gonna get tired, and they're gonna get you.
This guy is tough, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, he's so tough.
Yeah. When I did jiu-jitsu, man, there was like a little kid, just like a little spider monkey motherfucker, dude. Just a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
And he would jump
Right.
like over your back, like all kind of, and you're just like, get the fuck,
Right.
like a little net.
Right.
And he couldn't put me in nothing until I got tired.
Right.
And I would always get tired because I couldn't do shit to him,
Yeah.
And it's a really cool.
But it keeps you grounded, right?
Yeah.
Keeps you no egos involved, and I don't have an ego at all. I'm going to speak to everybody. That's why the members love me. The members of 172, that I can call them on anything, right? And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to be in this position because I would call them and say, hey, can you help me in this town? Go knock on doors? Sure, Randy. You want to put up some signs this weekend? Sure, Randy. I'm doing going to a food bank on Saturday, and then there's a parade afterwards. So I'm gonna do the food bank first, giving out food, to a food bank, and I got a couple members helping me do that.
And you're here.
And I'm here, man.
For a fellow laborer.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is awesome, right?
Yeah.
You say I have the voice for it, but I don't know.
You do, man. The voice of an angel.
Yeah. That's my dad. I gotta send you his stuff. So my dad is, he's a great guy. He's heavily into basketball. So he had barbershops in Willingboro and Trenton, but he would have like basketball games, like charity basketball games, and he would like be on the microphone calling the games and stuff like that. He still does it.
That's cool.
Now he told me the other, he's like, I'm gonna be 80 next year. I'm like, holy crap.
So starts the decline, the 6-year decline.
Don't tell him that. But here's the thing about him. He does Uber to get out of the house. He does Nike basketball camps. My dad's a veteran. He worked for PSC&G, right? So he stays busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's 80 years old. I'm like, man. Because I'm in denial about being 47, 100%.
You're 47?
Yeah, I'm in denial.
I would be too.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you at 47.
Yeah, I'm 47.
I figure you're my age.
No, 47.
Good for you.
Yeah, I need the reading glasses.
That's cool. It probably makes you look smart. You need them, like when you're in
Yeah.
politics. You need a pair of glasses.
I can't, like the phone, it's bad. I can't even see anything on the phone no more. I got to wear glasses.
They should put like a prescription
lens or something like that.
like screensaver.
Yeah.
That just like
I
does it.
can't see anything on there.
Yeah,
It's
it would
bad.
prevent all the people who can see from looking at your phone too.
Yeah, I'm not looking at anything crazy. Just
Yeah.
you know what? My
Yeah,
biggest thing on the internet is like cars,
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu, marketplace.
I still hate when people look at my phone though. Like if I'm showing someone a picture and then they start like,
I'm like, what are we doing? I didn't tell you to go that far.
Yeah.
Give it back. Yeah. So, posting stuff about my kids, the union. I'm like big posting stuff on union. I'm very supportive of the union because the union supports me. That's pretty much what I do on the internet. But I got an old school car, so I'm always looking for parts for it. I got a jet ski. I play. I still go out there and play and enjoy myself. So I'm always looking for stuff for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm into. And then stuff around the house. I'm always looking for a deal. Always looking for a deal. Always looking for a deal. So, what about you? How many kids do you have?
3,
What's their ages?
5, 3, and 6 months. Yeah, I got a ways to go, dude.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
God bless your wife.
It's
God bless
crazy,
your wife.
Dude. Yeah. She was so mad at me when I left the house today.
God bless your wife.
I fell asleep after I got done work.
Yeah.
She was pissed, bro.
Yeah,
well, you know what? You know what I did? I took the kids to McDonald's after I picked them up from school.
Yeah.
I got them Happy Meals.
Yeah.
And I grabbed the Big Mac, dude.
And
I was like, don't tell your mom. And they're like, I'm telling mom.
yeah. So boys, girls.
My oldest is a boy, and then I got my 3 and a 6-month-old are girls.
He's gonna be protecting them.
Yeah. Well, I think Giada's gonna be protecting them all. She's
Yeah.
she's wild, dude. She's fun.
That's such an Italian name. That's awesome though.
Giada, Angelina, and Steven.
Yes.
Very kind, yeah.
Yes. That's cool. But that's a great age. God bless your wife. Having those children and being able to take care of them.
Yeah, you get a whole new respect for your wife after you watch
my wife's an angel.
birth. It's like
I'm saying that so she can hear this.
Yeah.
No, but she is. I left it. Like she's like, I was like, I'm gonna take a quick nap before I go to Hamilton. She's like, all right. I was like, wake me up in like 15, 20 minutes. She's like, all right.
How'd you get here? 206.
206, the dreaded 206.
It ain't bad right now though.
No, but
Fly.
when I used to take my apprenticeship class in Folsom, boy, oh boy, don't let it be an accident.
Bro, on the way home it sucks. On the way there it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
But the way home from work, if you're up 206, it is a shitty drive. Because you always get stuck behind like a very, very slow moving vehicle.
So I remember, you remember when they did those 2 little bridges on 206? And they had it like all shut down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked on
They
that.
had the alternating traffic.
Yeah. So I was on, that was one of the jobs I was on from Atlantic.
Oh, that was a great job. Dude, they had people just like sitting with those
In a truck.
with those lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a truck. Yeah. So I remember doing, that's like one of the last jobs I worked on.
Yeah.
Like when we were doing, taking out the rumble strip in the middle. I remember
That wasn't that long ago.
No. So that was 9 years ago.
It was 9 years ago?
Yeah, 9 years ago. Because I've been out of
What?
I've been in the office for like 8 years,
Wow.
9 years. Yeah, I remember seeing Tony like pulling up and his daughters and stuff like other Tony and stuff like that. They're laughing and saying, I was flagging for a little bit. Yeah. So, but great job, man. I worked for Mid-Atlantic. It was a great contractor. You make a lot of money with them, some overtime and stuff like that. That was really cool. I did traffic for them. So when I first got there, I left Schiavone down at LBI. So Schiavone was the kind of contractor. This is what they did. So they put me on a hammer. I had a 90-pound hammer, and we were demoing the bridge. It was a concrete bridge, so you can't use hydraulic means or use a machine. So I hammered for 6 days a week.
90-pound hammer's a lot for a bridge deck.
It had latex.
Underneath?
We had latex on top.
Oh.
So we were hammering out the latex for the barrier.
Oh, okay.
So I was doing that, and I was going down. They were putting new joints in.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing that for 6 days a week, 10-hour days. I did it for like the whole summer. And they were like, oh, the hammering's done. Lay this guy off. They're no good. Look how long they hammer for. That's what they did to me. I was like, oh, like, cool, whatever.
Cardigan Frick.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. So then, Brendan Rosenberg calls me up and says, hey, I got this job for you. You got to be a trainee. I was like, dude, I'm not a trainee. I know what the hell I'm doing out there. He's like, oh, and plus you'll be the minority. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Right? So I get there and the guy's like, I'm talking to him. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, remember, Randy, you know how to do traffic? I was like, yeah, I'm good at it. So we're on the back of the cone truck and the guy's taking like 2 hours to put out a lane. Huh. And I was like, I already knew what to do, like to make
Yeah.
it faster, because I'm gonna make the contractor money. So they gave me an opportunity. It's like, oh, you know, the TCC's leaving. You know, you want to do it? I said, listen, if I'm the TCC, I need carte blanche. If I say do something, we need to do it. So I was like, I need a cone truck. I need the overlays, because I was the guy that got the overlays and you screw them in there, so you have one set of breakaways. You know, if you do a right lane, left lane.
Yeah.
So I was closing the lane in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take no longer.
Yeah,
So I used the existing signs from the permanent ones, and then I did the taper on the gore. So I did a cattle chute on the right, and did the taper on the left, and the contractor was like excited, like, where you been?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then I left. I went to my 10-day organizer class, and then didn't look back.
Nice. Yeah, TCC work is the best. So I ask everyone, I ask you, what is the dumbest thing you've seen this week? I did give you a heads up for this.
You did, and I forgot to think about it.
Damn.
I think it was Mikey talking about Taylor Ham.
I will co-sign that. That is
Why
dumb.
did she do that?
In South Jersey.
Oh, man. You know how people in South Jersey, we know how we are.
Yeah.
We're crazy.
Well,
Crazy about Taylor Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's probably
I'll
it.
co-sign that.
Yeah, that's probably it. Did I take up a lot of time?
No, not at all.
right, good.
Mikey Sherrill, come on.
She's
Step
awesome.
your fucking South Jersey game up.
Yeah, we got it. So I've been helping her, you know.
yeah.
I'm helping her. Like I said, got to get her on the podcast so you can talk to her.
Yeah. I would love to.
Yeah.
I will dive into this pork roll situation also.
Yeah.
If that were the case.
She's good people though. Listen, any time a woman can dominate an all male field, right? I mean, we have one, you know, Stephanie Baldwin.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great. She's been on the podcast multiple times. Yeah.
She's awesome.
She's cool. Yeah.
Pregnant. Remember, she was pregnant, got in a car accident on the way to work, still went to work. She's like 6 months pregnant, going to work, do construction. She rolls her car into a ditch. I love Steph.
Yeah.
You know, whatever Steph needs, I'm there for her.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's awesome. But a strong woman doing something like that, an all male dominated field, and then come out of it, you know, shout out to Mikey Sherrill.
Yeah. Randy, thank you so much for your time, dude. I really appreciate. Thank you for taking no calls. I know that was hard for you.
Yeah. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cool.
Dude, congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you.
On
Thank you for
being
everything.
elected Burlington County Commissioner. I think it's I think people should look up to like your example that you're setting, and I think we should start to like move towards making this more of a conversation.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really important. I think it's a really practical, easy way to just get. We could do that. I mean, that's something we could do. It's something we could strive for, and I think it's something that's obtainable.
Yeah, you know, when Flounder is going to run his campaign, I'm definitely going to be down here helping him out. I'll be down here knocking on doors for him.
Awesome. Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, good. Shout out to Flounder.
Yeah.
Hopefully he sees it.
We'll
I
be
was
in the
like,
same group.
Yeah, I was like,
We can knock
I was like, Flounder, I'm going to be on a podcast. I went, really? I was like, yeah. So when they talked about it, and I don't want to take up too much more time, but when they talked about him running, you know, it takes one clap to get the whole membership to clap. So I made sure I started that clap. You know,
awesome.
to support
The
him.
slow clap.
No. I did the big clap. So I did the big clap. So I was like, and you know, I can kind of move the crowd a little bit. They see I'm doing it, so you know, everybody clap for him. So
Awesome.
I know he felt good. He came up to me and shook my hand.
He texted me, dude, so I know it meant a lot to him, and that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's good shit, dude.
Listen, we had our ups and downs. He's a brother of mine.
Yeah.
You know, we had our ups and downs. He'll tell you, but you know, I'm here to support him. I want to see him get across the finish line. I want to see the reorg, and you know, he's up there swearing on the Bible.
Oh yeah. Well, we got Tom Gribbins, the mayoral candidate in the same the Hamilton First, like Hamilton, or like Flounder's running for. He's coming on the podcast in a couple weeks, so
cool.
We'll get a chance to talk to him too. Coming up soon.
Awesome.
And yeah, man, thank you very much.
Anytime. Thank you.
Peace.